The NFL season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up first and 10 at their own 42. Here's Trubisky to throw. He's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Brings up second and 5 at the 16-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Now Joe Mixon. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
18. That's a what? That's a what? That's a what? Check motion. Hey, check what? Lock in. Watching the drive. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Hey, Haywood.
Trubisky will throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
You know, he hated taking the loss there on third down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset. Draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Down. Double.
Throwing his car on third down. Going up top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got a gap.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 94 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball in that stage from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
and 10 at the 21-yard line.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A gain of 3, second down.
Jacobs, the ball carrier. Jermaine Pratt there on the tackle.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Check.
Steps away. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
That's another Raiders first down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 31. Check 31. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 99. Check 99.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Down. Blue 80. 57. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Watch it. Have me.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
But no, it takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Check. Hot route. Hot. Alert. Out. Greystone, travel.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
I'm going to run you over. Mike 55. Hey, eat. Get that.
Now it's Trubisky. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Let's go.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now Carr, caught by Nelson. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr is going to float this over the middle deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brian Grant, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home. And they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, waiter, 2. 57. Mike, 57.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play outside deep. Don't let him breathe, defense. Hey, work.
The toss play to Mixon. A big play there for Cincinnati. 47 yards. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, it's Trubisky. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check, 55 to Mike. Check.
Now Trubisky. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Let's go.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown here in this first half. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the draw, Richard. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. To throw on 3rd down, Carr drops this off to Richard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
We're good. You ready?
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
29.
Carr now on 1st down. Lets it go for Nelson. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Keep it up.
The final shot here before half for Carr. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Carr. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Jacobs. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the jet sweep, here's Grant. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
This is 3rd and goal, still looking for the first points of the game. Operating from the gun, Carr, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
On first down, Trubisky. Open man is Ross, complete. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Here we go. Win the rep, let's go right here. Check 59, Mike. Hey, alert. 59.
Nixon will try the right side, and he's got room. 20, there he goes right side, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now 21-7.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Get in the weight room. Watch twitch. Hey, 734.
Throwing again. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. So now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Carr now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
From the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He completes it to Nelson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Carr now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now Carr. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
That's it, baby.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
And especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
On 3rd down, Carr able to find Waller. That's complete. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Richard, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
55, right there.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. This is caught. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Kill. Check. Crunch. Go ahead, baby. Go.
Mixon. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They go play action. Trubisky. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's got Smith here. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. This is fielded at the 27. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
I got him. Express. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Watch the slant.
Carr now on first down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
We call that sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Check curls, check curls. Raider 9. That's 57's mine. Hey, let's get that.
Carr. And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Carr. It's a screen to Richard. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. This is Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Again, it's Mixon. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 13.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They toss to Mixon. And he's brought down. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that